Okay, so I want to get you up to speed on how to use the Zyte API with Coinbase's x402 protocol. Essentially, what you need to do is make a post request to our API endpoint. That's going to return that information. It's going to give you the ID of the wallet and the payment that you need to make to get the data. But we've also updated our Python Zyte API package, which you can use, and this will also come with a CLI library, and I'm going to show you how to quickly use both of those right now in the way that I have been when I've been working with this tool. So the first thing we need to do is we need to install it. If I come to the installation page, you'll need to see that we need to pip install with the x402 extension here, and then come down and set your ETH private key here in your environment. You can put this directly into the Python library if you want to, but this way setting it as an environment variable is going to allow the CLI library to use it as well, so you don't have to worry. So I'm going to show you now how the CLI library works and how to make async requests with the actual Python library. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cat out my input.jsonl file. This is what's going to hold the URLs that you want the data from that our CLI tool is then going to extract from. So I've only got one in here. Now the parameters I've chosen here are article because I want extracted article data from this. I'll leave a link to the Zyte API docs and you'll be able to see what parameters you can put in depending on what data you're trying to extract. So if I run this now with the Zyte API and we give it the input.jsonl file, and I've specified a result output file as well, and I'm going to run this. Now we can see that this might take a little bit longer because I've chosen to do the article automatic extraction, which actually runs a browser behind the scenes. So that's what's happening here. Now, when you run multiple URLs through this, they will all happen concurrently and it will be much faster, as I will show you when I use the async package in just a minute. So that's completed, so I'm just going to cat the result.json file, and we can see that there's a load of information in here. This is all of the article information, etc, etc. Right, now let's look at the Python package. So I'm going to open up my main.py file and I'll just explain to you what's going on here. I've imported in async.io and our async Zyte API, and I've just got a standard function here that creates a client, and then I'm using that client within async with as a session. Now this is the main important part here, which is the queries. Now because we're doing this asynchronously, I'm going to be using iter over the queries, which means that the results are going to come back as they come back and they'll be spit out to the terminal. Now these queries, I can see they are, like, a lot of them are the same. This is the same as what we put into that input.jsonl file, but just in our code here. I've got a URL, I've got article type is true, and in this specific case, I've set the article options to extract from the response body. So I'm telling our API specifically to not use a browser, so this will be much quicker. And then all I've done is I've just duplicated it multiple times. This could be multiple different URLs with multiple different parameters. It doesn't matter. Each one of these is going to be a request to the API. This is going to run asynchronously, and I've chosen here just to print out a tuple at the end of the article headline and description, just so we can see what's actually happening. So if I close this now and clear this up and I run this main.py file, we'll see that I start to get responses back. And that was very quick. They all happened concurrently, pretty much instantly, as we didn't need to use a browser to render them. And I've got the information back here that I specified. So again, you need to make a post request to our endpoint, deal with the payment terms and sign it off and send it back under the X payment header. It's all detailed in the response. And then you have access to make requests to the Zyte API. There'll be documentation in the link below that shows you parameters that you can use to do so, and everything like that will be there for you. So that's a quick rundown on how to do it with the CLI client that we've just updated, as well as our Python Zyte API. There'll be links to all of these available for you as well.